name is Jahan. If you're new here, I make videos about books. This is going to be a very bookish weekend vlog, and I'm actually about to head out because it's National Bookshop Day. How exciting! So I'm going to head into town, go visit some of my favourite independent bookstores, buy a bunch of books. I'm going to take you along with me. Books on My Bag, which is the organisation behind National Bookshop Day, Independent Bookshop Week, all the bookish stuff, very kindly sent me a tote bag, so I'm going to show you. This is what it looks like. We've got a peacock, I believe, some floral patterns, some butterflies, absolutely gorgeous. And on the back it says, books on my bag. It should say, books get in my bag, because I'm planning on dropping some coin today. I'm also dressed like I'm actually about to go to school. I've got this jumper on and it's got this collar moment, but you know what? It's autumn and I'm in my dark academia era. I'm not really, just today. And I've got some gold jewellery on and I'm just feeling myself. So yeah, let's head out. I'm now home. It was a very rainy day in Manchester, which is why I look like Lord Farquaad. But it was a really nice day. So first I popped into House of Book and Friends, which is one of my favourite independent bookstores in Manchester. And then I went to Waterstones, of course. And because Manchester is the city highlight for Bookshop Day, I visited the murals that were around town. And overall, fabulous bookish day. We also got sushi, which is always the best thing ever. Now, I don't know if it's because it was raining and I just didn't want to carry a bunch of books in the rain, but I only ended up buying 2 books, so let me show you what they are. The first book I picked up from House of Book and Friends is this book. This is The Storied Life of A.J. Vickery by Gabrielle Zavin. Now, Gabrielle Zavin is the author of Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow, which is a stunning book, probably my favourite read of this year so far. And I've not read any other books by this author. So saw this, it sounded very wholesome. It's about A.J. Vickery. He's a very grumpy bookstore owner and he's going through a hard time because his bookshop isn't doing well. And sadly, he's lost his wife and one of his very prized first editions was stolen. And if you like books, that is a thing of nightmares. And then one day, A.J. Vickery discovers a 2-year-old girl on the shop floor with a note attached to her, basically asking for A.J. to help look after her. And his life has changed forever. So he's grumpy, she's sunshine, really wholesome, found family vibes. Really excited for this. It's also kind of short. It's 300 pages. The text is kind of big. And I'm very eager to read more of Gabrielle Zavin's work. The next book I picked up at Waterstones. As soon as I saw her, I knew that she had to come home with me. And I was planning on looking at the paperbacks, maybe picking up 1 or 2, not spending £25 on one book. But she's worth it because that book is this. This is The Goldfinch by Donna Tartt. It is the Waterstones exclusive edition. So we've got some green binding. Now, I own The Secret History in this edition. And even though I've never read The Goldfinch, and I don't know if I'll like it, I must own this. I need everything to match. And sometimes you just got to buy books for the vibes. I actually don't know too much about this book, but when I was buying it at the till, when I was paying for it, the bookseller, he sold it to me. He said it's a slow start, but take your time with it, enjoy it, and then all of a sudden it's oh my gosh, this is incredible. I just keep looking at it. It's just so beautiful. She is thick, though. She's a thick gal. Don't know when I'm actually going to read this. I've got so many books on my TBR. I've got 95, maybe even 100 now. But had to have it. Vibes. So even though it's the evening, I do want to get some reading done. I am in a bit of a reading mood and I want to pick up a book that I put down for a few days. And that book is As Long as the Lemon Trees Grow by Zulfa Kato. So my camera decided to randomly turn off. Like, excuse me, rude. We've got work to do. As I was saying, so I started reading this book about 2 weeks ago. And from page one, I thought it was fantastic. I absolutely loved Zulfa Kato's writing style. Her writing is very atmospheric, very descriptive. I felt like I was there in Syria. And the reason why I had to put it down for a few days is because it ended up feeling a little bit too close to home with the current situation going on in Palestine, and it became a little bit too difficult to read. But I do feel like I'm ready to pick this up again, and this will be my main reading goal for this weekend. And a little bit about the plot. So, as I mentioned, it's set in Syria during the war, and we follow our main character Salama. She lives with her sister-in-law, who is pregnant, and her name is Layla. And unfortunately, Salama's lost her mother, her father and her brother are imprisoned. And even though she is a trained pharmacist, because of the shortage of staff in the hospital, she's pretty much forced to become a doctor. And life isn't good. There's bombs going off every single day. There's casualties. Salama's going through a very hard time. And then she meets someone. And that's all I'm going to say about this. So, gonna read a little bit of this evening. I also need to post some TikToks and my YouTube video, my bookshelf tour. And also, I'm in the middle of a K-drama, so definitely have to find time to watch some of that. So I will check in with you later. I hope I don't cry. I'm really not in the mood to cry. So I'm just cleaning my library so I can get some reading done. And I forgot to mention, I ordered the hardback edition of my favourite book of all time, which is Pachinko by Min Jin Lee, and it arrived yesterday. Now, I am trying to understand what this cover represents in terms of the plot in the book. I really don't know. I really don't know what this represents. I mean, it's like a bunch of pins. Is it because the book is set in different countries? I really don't know. I'm not deep enough. But really happy. There's something really special about owning a hardback of your favourite book. And yeah, got a nice little Pachinko collection. So in the middle there is the original edition that I read and absolutely fell in love with. I then have this edition. This actually doesn't belong to me. I'm currently annotating it for my friend Sarah. And I'm not that far in, but I'm really enjoying how slow I'm taking it. I'm just sort of eating it all up. It is just the best book ever. If you're going to take one recommendation from me, make that recommendation Pachinko by Min Jin Lee. Best book of all time. So I'm sat in the dark, you can't really see me well, and I've read a little bit more of As Long as the Lemon Trees Grow, and I feel like some happy moments are coming. So first 100 pages are like despair. Literally, it's quite graphic, very descriptive. But now there seems to be a little bit of hope, and that's what I was waiting for with this book. I think it's not all going to be trauma. So I'm actually annotating this book. I was never planning on annotating this, but some of these quotes, it's like an arrow through the heart, and it would be a disservice not to annotate it. Now, tip, if you're an annotation girly like me, get yourself some emoji stickers, because I express myself best through emojis when I'm messaging. So I thought, you know what? Why not use it for annotating? So get yourself some emoji stickers. Get yourself one of these. I tell my friends all the time they need to get one of these. It like peels the sticker so you don't have to touch it and like fiddle with it. And stick it where you think is appropriate. In fact, I've got an example right here on page 58. It was pure sadness. And as you can see, I just shoved a crying emoji because I did not know what to write. There's nothing much you can say when it's just a page full of sadness. And I feel like it just completely expresses how I felt reading that page. Now it is late, it's almost 10 p.m. I'm going to call it a day with reading. Tomorrow I've got some friends coming over, but hoping to pretty much at least get to the halfway point of this book by tomorrow evening. But I will check in with you first thing in the morning. So see you then. Good night. Good morning. It is now the next day. It is a beautiful day. I put the heating on in the morning because it was freezing, and then now I've got the windows open. But Manchester is pretty random. So we're in the kitchen today, as you can see, and my friends are coming over in about an hour. So going to do some last minute cleaning. Even though my friends are coming over, I still want to get some reading done today. I want to get to the halfway point for As Long as the Lemon Trees Grow. Also, I really need to get a move on with my book club book for this month, which is Tender as the Flesh. Very disgusting title. So if I've got time this evening, I want to start that as well. I've heard mixed things. I want to see for myself what I think. Right, enough pissing around. I actually need to clean because they're going to be here very, very soon. So I bought something really, really cute from Etsy and it arrived the other day. I've still not set it up. I do not know for the life of me what they're called. It's one of those like candle stands. And when you light the candle, it spins. It sounds very random, but it's really cute. Let me show you. This is just my favourite thing in life right now. It's so cute. Etsy is such a gem. Like most of the stuff in my home that's cute is actually from Etsy.
No! Well, why did it go so quick? Let's do it again.
You brought him here to kill me!
No! Let's go, Anakin.
Dark Lord.
Peace, freedom, justice, and security to my new empire. Your new empire? I will do what I need. That's not the line! The crucial line!
It's now the next day. My friends ended up staying quite late yesterday, so I thought, you know what? Let's just continue the vlog. I'm having a really good time. Why not? And I just got home from work, so obviously had to get changed into my PJs. If you're someone that doesn't come home from work and immediately gets changed into their PJs, I'm afraid you're a weirdo. I actually came home to a lot of packages today and I thought it'd be really fun to do a little unboxing on camera. I usually do unboxings on TikTok, but why not? I can spot a couple books here. Let's open it. The first package is tiny. I know what this is. I bought it off Etsy like a couple days ago and it's already arrived. That was very, very quick. And it's this Palestine bracelet. So I saw this online. The seller is donating proceeds from the sale to a charity that's based in Gaza that provides medical aid, food, water, general supplies. And I thought, you know what, I just want to buy something I can wear to show my support and solidarity for what's going on right now in Palestine. I am free Palestine till I die. I can't say that loud enough. And I just thought this was really, really cute. So it says Palestine and it's got the colours of the Palestinian flag. And I will be wearing this proudly. So in this next box, it feels like a book. Who is this from? You know what? It doesn't even say who this is from. I have no idea. Let's open it up. Oh my gosh. This is absolutely stunning. This is Catch-22 by Joseph Heller, which is a very popular and famous book. But it's this stunning vintage classic edition. It's got this grey spine. I really like this. This is actually on my TBR as well. I just wasn't expecting it. So this must be part of their new vintage classics collection. This book was published in 1961, and in 1970 the film came out. I've also not seen the film. Absolutely gorgeous. That's really good. I'm really happy with that. Now, I'm going to leave this package right at the bottom for my TikTok because I know what this is, and this is something I've wanted for a long time. It's not a book, but it is bookish themed, and when the company reached out to me, I was like, oh my gosh, yes. So if you want to see what's in this package, go follow me on TikTok. My username's on the screen. Let's do another non-bookish one. So, oh, I know what this is. This is actually really funny. So, it's a t-shirt, also from Etsy. Man, Etsy takes my money. And it's a t-shirt that says, written by Sally Rooney. I just thought that was so cute and so funny. Oh my gosh. I'm going to wear this to book club. I'm obsessed. Also, Sally Rooney is a true queen. She is one of the very few authors that have come out against the Israeli government and has condemned the Israeli government, condemned the genocide which is happening in Palestine. I will support Sally Rooney forever. What a queen, what an icon. This is really, really cute. Obsessed, wearing this soon as. Okay, and the final package is also bookish shaped. It's from Serpent's Tail, which is a publishing company in London. So let's rip this open. So this is actually a non-fiction book. It's called Critical Hits. It's writers on gaming and the alternate worlds we inhabit. How very interesting. So it's got a bunch of essays in here by different authors, like Octavia Bright, for example. And it's basically about video games. So it says for fans of Tomorrow, which I love that book. That's one of my favourite reads of the year. And then we've got some games around the cover as well, like Call of Duty, The Last of Us, Alien, Fallout. Wow. Now this is outside of what I usually read, but I'm trying to expand my reading, so I think this is really, really cool. A very unexpected mini haul. How fun. I love getting stuff in the post. But let's talk reading plans for the evening. Now, I am still reading As Long as Lemon Trees Grow, and I do plan to continue with this evening. But also, my audiobook listen has been Ruin and Rising. Actually, you know what? I've got the physical book down here. I've been alternating, but mostly I've been reading via audiobook. This is the last book in the Shadow and Bone trilogy, and I have about 40 minutes left. And you know what? So far, it's my favourite out of the 3 books. I have loved this. So I think before I do anything, I'm going to finish listening to the audio whilst I do some things around the house, and then share my thoughts on the trilogy as a whole. I also want to make a bit of a to-do list and get a bit organised. I'm in that mood. And I want to make a list of video ideas now that I'm back on YouTube, TikTok ideas, things that I have to buy. I need a few things around the house that I really need to buy, I've been putting off. And I kind of want to break in a new notebook. Should I? Yes, I should. So I'm going to listen to my audiobook whilst I get things done, and we'll check in with you later. So the kettle's on, that's why it's very, very loud. Before I start listening to my audiobook, I'm just going to get my dinner going. We're making a very simple dinner today because honestly, I'm very tired. Spinach, buffalo, ricotta and pine nuts girasoli. Am I saying that correctly? Basically, we're making stuffed pasta. The pasta's stuffed with spinach. And it sounds very, very good. But even better, it sounds very, very quick. Okay, time to finish off my audiobook. I'm really excited. Currently, the situation is not looking very good.
scene is coming up. Ew. I hate Mal.
I finally finished listening to Ruin and Rising, so let's talk about it. As a whole, I really enjoyed the trilogy. If I had to rank them, this is definitely number 1. I think I'm going to give this 4 out of 5 stars. Number 2 would be the first book, which is Shadow and Bone. And number 3 is the second book, Siege and Storm, which is a little bit controversial because I heard that a lot of people like the second book the most. For me, rank number 3. In this book, we follow our main character, Alina, and this book pretty much is a continuation of Cat and Mouse. It is a cat and mouse chase, Alina versus the Darkling. The Darkling's like the evil guy, and in this book, he rules over Ravka, whereas Alina, it's not looking good for her. Most of her army is gone. She's got like a group of people around her, like a really small number. Odds are not in her favour. This third book is actually the first time I felt something for the Darkling, because in book 1, didn't care for him, didn't fall for his charm. Book 2, hated him. Book 3, did feel sorry for him at some points. Now let's talk about some of the romance in this series. So, our main character Alina has a thing for a character called Mal. Mal is the worst. In book 1, he wasn't really in it that much. Book 2, he was the jealous boyfriend. He was just jealous, broody, always in a mood, always angry. And in book 3, pretty much 50% of it, he's the same. He's like, I mean, they just have the worst relationship ever. I can't believe that they actually ended up together, because 90% of their relationship was just ignoring one another. Alina literally would say, like, she hoped Mal goes off on a mission, and even though she'll miss him, at least she won't feel like stressed that he's not talking to her. So yeah, if you're reading this book because you're a romantasy girly like me, don't read it for the fantasy, because the romance in this is piss poor. It's like the worst ever. I hated Mal. Mal was so boring, and for no reason, just, I mean, I know they're in the midst of a war. I know people are dying, but I felt like he was just bland, boring. And Nikolai, on the other hand, so there's this other character called Nikolai, extremely charming fella, really liked him. He was one of my favourite characters in this trilogy. I feel like Alina definitely should have gotten with Nikolai. What a relationship that would have been. And like, Nikolai even proposes to Alina, and Alina's like, no, I can't. Mal, ugh. Mal is the worst. Like, Mal sucks. The ending was very satisfying in this book, and you know, it could have gone many ways. I didn't predict the ending, but I was pleased with it. So the true question now is, will I read the Six of Crows duology? Yes, definitely. Someone told me that, you know, these are Leigh Bardugo's first books, and I already found that book 3, her writing had improved so much. And apparently, Six of Crows is very, very fun to read. So I will most definitely be reading all of Leigh Bardugo's books. I did have a very good time reading this, and it's funny because last year in December, when I was making my bookish goals for 2023, I was like, I want to read more series in 2023. And this was actually one of the series that I listed, so I've accomplished that, and that feels really good. So yes, 4 out of 5 stars, very happy. And now I need to find a new audiobook to listen to. I don't know what though. Also, I didn't get to show you, so I was making my lists. I was trying to get organised with my life. I ended up using this notebook, so it's not a new notebook. I didn't crack open a new notebook, but this I only used a few pages in the past, and it's a Beauty and the Beast notebook. It's got gold edges, and it's designed by Mina Lima, so it looks like the Mina Lima books, and it's just stunning. It makes me so happy. So I've been reading for the past 45 minutes. I have made really good progress, and I'm really happy because for the first time in this book, I have finally created a new tab colour for moments of love and happiness. Before that, I'll show you the only two tabs that I had going were these two. So we've got dark blue for quotes, a bit of a lighter blue for sad moments, which there's plenty, and now I get to add the pink tab for moments of happiness, and God knows this book needed it. And the tab has been added. Very, very exciting. Now, this book, I am conflicted because I feel like I don't want to mention spoilers, but a lot of the things that I find really important in this book do contain spoilers, so I'm going to really try my best to keep things vague. But in this book, our main character, Salama, is carrying the weight of the world, the weight of her family on her back, and she's pretty much at breaking point. From page 1, she's at breaking point. Salama is conflicted because her brother made her promise to always protect Layla, who is her sister-in-law, her brother's wife. Now, her brother and her father haven't been seen in years. Her mother's passed, and Salama wants to stay in the country, fight for her country, but then at the same time she wants to leave the country with Layla and escape because Layla's pregnant and the baby's coming very soon. But we finally met Keenan. Keenan is a really interesting character so far. So he actually films a lot of the injustice that's happening, and he posts it on YouTube for the world to see, and he has to look after his siblings. And actually, he already has a connection with Salama because they had like a marriage meeting set up before the war kicked off, which on the day that the war kicked off, that's when they were supposed to meet. Obviously, they didn't end up meeting. So they met and they already had that connection there. And it brings a little bit of joy to a very, I don't know what the best word for this is, real book, because this is real. The stuff that's happening in this book, even though it's fiction, this is stuff that has happened in Syria. And I love his character so far. I'm very interested to see his development, and I am rooting for a happy ending. Zulfa Kato's writing is just gorgeous. Here are some quotes that have really stood out to me so far. It doesn't hurt for you to think about your future. We don't have to stop living because we might die. Anyone might die at any given moment, anywhere in the world. We're not an exception. We just see death more regularly than they do. When I leave, it won't be easy. It's going to shred my heart to ribbons, and all the pieces will be scattered along Syria's shore, with the cries of my people haunting me till the day I die. So, as you can tell, Zulfa Kato's writing is not just poetic, but so impactful. And I really like the way she uses the word might. It keeps popping up ever since she's met Keenan. She's like imagining the life she could have if she wasn't living in a war-ridden country. And she always says, my thoughts of a might life. And I've just never heard that phrase before, the word might used in that context. But it keeps popping up. I really, really enjoy that. But since it is late, I'm going to call it a day with reading. I have finished one book today, and I'm pretty much almost at the halfway point with this book. And yeah, absolutely love it. I'm only halfway through, but quite possibly a new favourite of all time. I don't know. I'm not going to jinx it. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, leave a comment, subscribe. You can also follow me on TikTok. I post very regularly over there, but I am trying. I'm going to try and post more regularly here on YouTube. I have really enjoyed filming this vlog. I've got so many ideas for future videos. So stay tuned and good night.